Hi everyone, how have you all been? Great to see you again as always. Let's see, Billy says, Eric, I'm preparing for the Golden Globes. Don't worry, we'll all be able to live talk about the Golden Globes. What we'll do is after this stream, I'll jump onto my Discord and we can all talk about the Golden Globes live. So don't you worry, we'll all be talking about those. But for now, we've got a bunch of stories to talk about, and these are some really interesting stories. So let's see. Big Bash is here, so is Fireboy. Billy, as we mentioned. Cool Kids 25 is here. The Dark Lord of the Sith is here. Khan is here, as always. Joshman. He says, hello, Eric, how are you doing today, and how's it going on the Zootopia Versus video? I'm doing very good. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but I feel better now. The Zootopia video is going very well. I just put in a bunch of music for it. I haven't leveled it out yet, but I've put the music in just in place, and I think I've got the structure of the music down as well, so the video is coming together, basically, which is very good. Let's see, we got Robin here, Gamersaw, the G-Gamer, Fireboy, Jess is here, Rohan. Awesome, got a good amount of you in here already, and we haven't even properly started the stories yet, so that's good. Fireboy says, I'm sorry about the copyright claim, Eric. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, my Welcome to Derry finale review, it got copyright claimed, and I thought it would happen on day 2 or 3, like it has with the previous Welcome to Derry reviews I did, but with this one, it happened 1 day later, and on top of that, it's the first of these reviews of mine to get blocked worldwide. So that is a shame. The video actually got me 6 new subscribers in that day, which was actually pretty cool. But sadly, yeah, it got blocked worldwide. And that is really quite a bummer. It really is. And like I said, I put in all the effort and work into making these reviews anyway for these episodes because you guys really liked them and you wanted to see more. But I did consider stopping the reviews because they were just getting copyright claimed like crazy, and I'm not the only one that has been getting claimed on these videos. HBO Max are very, very bad when it comes to you using footage from their shows. So yeah, they are notoriously bad. It's why there's not a lot of trailer reactions for their stuff, because just like Universal, they copyright claim you a lot. This is the first time I got blocked worldwide, though, and it's a shame because I really was happy with the review that I put together. Big Bash says it best. He goes, YouTube system is stupid, which it is. And he also says, good thing I'm a patron because I can still watch it. Yeah, if you go onto my Patreon, the video is available. I put it there. All you got to do is just join the most basic Patreon perk, or the most basic Patreon tier, and then you'll be able to gain access to the final the review of the final episode. So if you still want to see it, that's the best way to do it. And let's see here. Adam Grunther has joined. He goes, how's it going? It's going good, aside from the copyright claim I mentioned. Great casting for Harvey, says Nate. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Wolfman says, hello, Eric. Nice to see you again. Have I just joined? Yeah, the stream has just started. We haven't gotten into the stories yet. But one thing that I do want to say, a big thanks to Seb down here, who, after I'd mentioned to you guys that my Welcome to Derry final episode review got blocked worldwide as well as copyright claimed. He actually said that he would support me on Patreon because I made all these videos despite the fact they were all getting copyright claimed. So yeah, he became a patron earlier today, which was very greatly appreciated because, like I said, it really does help support the channel, particularly with all these videos that have been getting copyright claimed when I reviewed each of these episodes. That really has been like a hit to the channel, so financially it has been a hit to the channel, but because you guys love those reviews, you kept asking me when I'm going to do my next one, I did them anyway. And yeah, Seb, for that reason, said he appreciated that, and he joined me on Patreon, so a huge thanks to Seb, and the tier that he went for was this one. He went for the trailer reactions and the name in the credits. So by the time I do my next Zootopia Versus video, which I'm editing right now, his name should be in the credits, that scrollable credits you see at the end. So yeah, that'll be the perk that he gets. And if anyone else wants to join in, then the same thing will happen to them. If you go for any one of these perks, you'll get all these perks, and plus you'll be able to join in. Sorry, you'll be able to get your name in the credits as well as gain access to trailer reactions. We got Afros here as well. Says, "Hey Eric, hearing your struggles with copyright makes me worried about my own videos that I've been hoping to make. Yeah, you got to be very wary about the way that they just copyright you on the most like tiniest of things. A lot of time it's not even your fault, and they copy. Well, all of it is not our fault. We're allowed to do these, but they don't let us. But yeah, they try to copyright claim you over the silliest or tiniest of things. It really is a shame." Uh, Josh Man says, "Eric, I do have a question for you. Have you watched enough bad, garbage, atrocious abomination of movies for the worst of list?" Yes, I have. I have watched plenty of bad movies this year. In fact, because of that, you're going to get a top 10 worst movies list this year. There are a lot of bad movies that came out this year, which is kind of tragic, really. YouTube being YouTube, says Cool Kid. Yep, and it certainly is. Adam Grunther says, "What about top 10 best?" I don't think there are enough movies that I have seen this year that qualify, that I've seen last year that qualify for top 10 best. The movies, even because here's the funny thing about 2025, even the movies that I really liked, I was like, they're not list worthy because I do have some quite significant problems, or problems that are enough to take it away from being a great movie. Frankenstein, I'll give you one example. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is a movie that I really liked, but there were some serious problems that prevent me from wanting to award it a top 10 best list. For example, there is the biggest problems with the movie is that the character stuff just feels so quick. Frankenstein's arc I really liked. The cinematography, the visuals, beautiful stuff. I think the movie visually is phenomenal. The music was really nice as well. But my problem was how quick characters were to reaching these emotional arcs. So, for example, Victor Frankenstein, once he creates the monster, it's like at first it's like, oh great, he's created life, but then he very quickly gets annoyed with him just because he can't say more than one word. He just says Victor. That's all he can speak. And for some reason, Oscar Isaac, who does a great performance in the movie, very quickly, like in about a day or two, that becomes enough for him to get mad at the monster. That this is all you can do is just say one word, you're useless, and you're really mad. And I was like, dude, you created life, and that means now you're gonna have to teach him these things. He's gonna have to learn, give him time. But he just got annoyed and flipped just like that, and I was like, this is too quick. I get what they're trying to do, but it's way too quick. There's also the love angle in there as well, that, he's annoyed that the girl that he likes, she seems to like the monster. But even that was, even she liked him way too quickly, and I'm like, she just looked at the monster and was like, instantly, she was ready to, like, you know, go the distance with him. Yeah, that's what it looked like. I'm like, girl, like, you gotta slow down. You've got a fiance, you're getting very pally with your fiance's brother, and now you see this monster, and instantly you're moving to him. She did not look good in that way. So it's like the characters, like, I understand them getting there over time gradually, but it felt like it was just too quick. These character developments were happening. So I found that to be an issue. Adam Grunther says, "I don't think it was meant to be romantic." I don't think it was either. But at the same time, it still felt like we needed more time for these characters to kind of like go through these phases. And it was too quick, especially with Victor Frankenstein, with him uh, giving up on his creation so quickly. I'm like, this does not track to me. So I thought they needed to do better with that. So even though I really liked the movie, there was stuff like that. Those were the main things that were preventing me from loving it. And because of that, I'm like, I like the movie, but I wouldn't put it on a best of list. But in answer to your question, Adam, I will be doing right now a top 6 list of best movies. Yeah, and the 6th one might surprise you because you can wait for the video and then I'll let you know why, but it might surprise you. So yeah. Oh, Spider Will is here. He says he just joined. Oh, great, bud. Thanks for joining. Edwards is here as well. He goes, "Hey there, Eric. It's me again." Cool. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Adam Grunther says, "Did you see Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair?" No, I didn't. It did not come in theaters in my location, and on top of that, I thought if this is a movie to watch, I'll probably watch it on my 4K projector when it comes out. I don't need to rush to the theater to see it. Uh, Sadly, though, there was a couple of other movies that I did want to see, but I couldn't see because we're towards the end of the year and it's starting to snow like crazy here, and it's a 30-minute walk to my theater. I wasn't going to be able to do that with all this ice and this crazy weather there and back. 30 minutes there and 30 minutes back. So I wasn't able to watch the new movie with Timothy Chalamet that just came out, which I wanted to watch. So unless I find a way to do it in the next few days, I won't be able to do a. I won't be able to add that to my best of list. You guys know sometimes I can't watch all these movies, and I'll let you know once I do see it if it would have ended up on the list. Let's see. Sarah says, just saw stream was up, going to sleep at the moment. Good luck with the stream. No problem, Sarah. Thank you very much for joining and for saying hi. I really appreciate that. And sorry for the late stream. It's just, I was feeling a bit under the weather earlier, so I didn't feel like I was awake enough to do the stream there and then. But thanks for joining, and hopefully we'll see you on the Discord on the watch party next week. So yeah, take care, Sarah. Have a great sleep. And good luck good luck with your studies, which I'm assuming you'll be going to tomorrow. Where are we? Adam says, "Did you manage to see Wake Up Dead Man?" I did. Me and my brother did both watch that. Yeah. Eric, have you seen the post-COVID South Park specials? And what do you think of the adult versions of Cartman, Kyle, Stan, and Kenny? Yeah, I did watch all those pandemic specials. They were funny. The adult versions of the characters, they were funny too, but I felt like it was a gag that eventually got quite boring. So I was like, I hope they don't stick with this gag for too long. But it was fun. It definitely had its fun. Oh, Charleston is here. See, it's good to always give a few minutes before I join these, before I get into the stories of these streams, so more of you guys can show up. Gives you guys a chance. Adam says, I stand by the fact that's where the show should have ended. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Stranger Things, or are you talking about... What are you talking about? South Park? Tomorrow I begin my winter semester of community college as Big Bash. Oh, wow. Well, good luck. Wish you the best of luck. Oh, South Park. Honestly, I think South Park should have ended a long time ago. But they find ways to keep bringing it back in, and I'm not gonna lie, they do have some creative stuff. Miles is here. Oh, great to see you, Miles. What's the reason you want to do a top 10 worst movies of all year, says Josh, man, and how bad and awful an atrocity these movies can get? Well, there are a lot more bad movies that have come out. Like, there's a lot you can talk about. And you guys will see me talk about it. And there's some movies that are bad. You guys know I don't go out looking for bad movies. But there were quite a lot of bad ones that I will be discussing them. So, how would you rank the Knives Out movie, says Adam Grunther? Good question. I would rank it Knives Out 2, Knives Out 1, and then Knives Out 3, Wake Up Dead Man. Wake Up Dead Man was trying to be more experimental, I felt. And it was trying to add a bit of a dark thriller with a tinge of horror in there. And I get what they were trying to do, but it was the least interesting to me. When I feel like the characters were the least interesting in this movie compared to the first two films. They didn't all get equal development like the first two films. And I think that the first two films, what they did very good with their pacing is that they allowed Daniel Craig's character, Blanc, they allowed him to be shown simultaneously along with our list of suspects. In this third movie, you spend about 35-40 minutes of the movie just with the suspects before Blanc even comes in. That was too long. Like, I was thinking that was cool at the beginning, but that's too long without your main character, I think. And I think that wasn't very good how they did that. And it definitely hurts the movie on rewatches. You don't feel like you want to go back when he's not there. The movie's so much more better when he's in it. And to take him out for about 35-40 minutes of it, I think that was a bad call. And plus, it made the movie feel longer than it needed to be. So yeah, that was definitely fun in there. Me and my brother had fun, but we definitely both felt when we were watching it that it was the weakest of the three. Khan, I'll try to talk about Stranger Things once I get through a couple more videos. I'm working on Zootopia right now. I'm also working on my best and worst list. I'm still doing Patreon videos for you guys as well. And I'm still doing these live streams too, and I've got a couple of commission videos too. So I'm going to try to cover Stranger Things, whether I cover it in a format like this where I'm speaking to the camera or I focus on one aspect of it. I've got a few video ideas for it. I'm thinking of delving into some, but I'm going to have to figure out which one to do. Which one I do. Thoughts on the rumors that Blade was cancelled? I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I kind of am. I'm just surprised that should be such a simple movie, but they don't know what to do with Blade. We've heard of those leaked scripts that they were doing with Blade and how they were trying to at one point one of the scripts had Blade be the fourth lead with 3 women being the main characters and all that kind of stuff. It's like, are they just trying to go out of their way to make a bad movie here? Because that doesn't sound like someone is trying to make a good movie when they put Blade relegate him to the fourth lead and they have 3 other characters take precedent over him in his own movie. Like, that's just very bad. But we'll see what happens with it. Apparently they want to put him in a Midnight Suns movie, which, honestly, whatever. I think they should make a Blade movie before a Midnight Suns movie, but Marvel have not been making any rational choices lately. Adam says, in fairness, Blanc isn't the main character of Knives Out movies. Marta, Helen, and Jude were. Yes, but he was one of the main leads. Honestly, a lot of people come for him, the detective. It's like watching what was it? Not The Haunting in Venice, that's one of the movies, but the Poirot movies. When you watch those with Kenneth Branagh starring in them, everyone comes for the detective. The other characters are fun, but they're only really fun because you want to see the detective interact with them and you want to figure out which one is which. So I actually disagree. I think Blanc, he is like the main character. You have the main victim in the scenario who he helps, but for many people, they don't come for that victim. Each of these movies, they come for Blanc. That's kind of like with the Conjuring films, how the first movie was less about the Warrens, even though they had a pivotal part in it, but it was more about the family. Each movie has a different family, and yes, it's about them, but the audience comes and returns for the detective or the paranormal investigators in The Conjuring. That's what I feel like Knives Out and a lot of these detective-type movies, that's what a lot of people come for. They come for the detective. So that's what I think on that subject, personally. You have multiple main characters, but everyone comes for the detective. And you don't hire Daniel Craig in a movie thinking he's going to be a second or a third fiddle character. It's like, no, he's going to be the number one. That's what everyone comes for. And they pay him the most too. So, they know who the main character is. Anthony is here. Hi, Anthony. It's great to see you. All right. I think we've got we've got enough people here. We have enough people here. I think that's we can get into. All right. Let's see. Oops, let me just sort that out. Get my notes ready. And then we can get to it. All right. Okay, so you guys know the drill. When I'm doing these lives, when I'm talking about these stories, because I'm doing it live, I can't focus on the live chat. So if you want to ask me any questions, I will not be able to answer them unless you do either a super chat or a Streamlabs chat. Streamlabs is in the description, and it's on the pinned comment section on the live chat. Go there and you can ask me a question. Your question will pop up on the screen and I will answer your question immediately during the stories. So that's the only way you'll be able to ask me a question. I'll be able to answer you immediately. And of course, any donations you do goes towards helping supporting the channel. And also, if on top of that, if you do go over to my Patreon to join any of these perks, I will put your name down here and it will forever be here on this particular live stream. Even after the live stream is over, your name will be documented here forever. So, or as long as this channel is up. So, yeah. With those disclaimers aside, time to move on to the stories. Now, here's the first story. The Batman Part 2 eyes Sebastian Stan. Now, it's said that The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed this. I tried to look for the article. It doesn't seem like they're really confirming anything. Thus, it's like they're saying these things, that Sebastian Stan is going to be playing Two-Face in Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, but there's no confirmation. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, for those of you that don't know, the director of the movie, Matt Reeves, anytime someone is cast, or anytime you have like crew member, particularly like like recently we had a cinematographer. Matt Reeves has brought a new cinematographer in because uh, Greg Fraser, who did the cinematography for the first Batman movie, is not available, sadly. So he brought in another cinematographer. Hopefully he keeps the same composer, but he brought in another cinematographer and he announced it and welcomed him on his Twitter page. And he has done the same thing with other actors too, but he hasn't done that with Sebastian Stan yet. That tells me that he hasn't brought him on yet, or the negotiations are still going on, or maybe this is just not going to work out. It could be any number of things right now, but it sounds like they want Sebastian Stan, but we don't know yet if that's actually going to be the case. I think we still need to wait until Matt Reeves has confirmed it. So with that said, I want to talk about Sebastian Stan being in the Batman movie at all. Now, you'll know that in one of my recent live streams, I talked about Scarlett Johansson. Apparently, Matt Reeves wanted Emma Stone to be in the movie, and the rumor is that she was going to play Gilda Dent. That is the two people that Matt Reeves is casting right now. He wanted Emma Stone to play Gilda Dent, and in the comics, Emma Stone actually does look quite like Gilda Dent, especially if you put a wig on her, like the right wig and everything. She actually looks like she could fit the role. Plus, she hasn't been in a Marvel superhero movie in like 12 years. By the time this Batman movie comes out, she will not have been in a Marvel movie for 13 years. So she's been away from the superhero genre for a long time, and even then she was only in the superhero genre for 2 movies, playing a non-superhero character. And since then been she's actually appeared in a lot of indie movies, and she's harnessed her craft, and she's really kind of like become like a different actress almost in terms of the roles she takes and how she performs. So to take someone like her and put her into a Matt Reeves movie, where Matt Reeves is very much like an artistic director, his movies are not just typical superhero affairs. They are like, well, the very definition of cinema, basically. The way they're framed, the way he sets up tension, the way he makes his movies look, just everything about the movies feels like it's high quality. Like, you don't get this very often from directors who make these big franchise films. That's what's really good about Matt Reeves. He's a very prestigious director. So that's what's really cool about him. And to get an actress who right now is able to make movies that are also meant to be from auteurs, essentially, but from lower budget affairs, would have been a great choice. Which is why I don't like that Scarlett Johansson is here, because apparently Emma Stone turned it down. I don't know why she would turn it down. It baffles me. It's especially because, like I said, it's Matt Reeves. This is not a typical superhero movie. This is a Matt Reeves movie. And it would have been very good for her to come into this. I think it would be like a very good, like well-earned next step in her career. But for whatever reason, she said no. And apparently the rumors are that Scarlett Johansson basically said to her agent to aggressively push for this role if Emma Stone says no. Emma Stone did say no, and now they're aggressively pushing for her to be in the movie. Now, I hope this does not mean that, I don't know, if the vibe I get is that Scarlett Johansson, when she's aggressively pushing for it, is like normally actors can push for something, but to aggressively push for it, for me, I just get bad vibes when I hear aggressively push for it. It makes me think, because Scarlett Johansson is like one of the most, I think she is the most like highest paid actress in Hollywood right now. And I don't know if this is like, that gives her some kind of like authority or some kind of push to where some kind of like negotiating power where she can basically like go to the studio or go to someone and force Matt Reeves to hire her. I hope Matt Reeves is given the ability to say no, and he has 100% creative control here. And I hope she doesn't try to, like, when they say aggressively push for the role, I hope she's not trying to screw anyone over in order to try to get the because if you remember when Matt Damon, this is a bit disconnected, but you'll know what I mean. He said that when he won his Oscar, he actually said, and he said this on Graham Norton, that he was happy that he was so happy that he did not F anyone over to get this award, which kind of implies to me that there is a lot of like, people don't just naturally win these things in Hollywood. There's a lot of situations where you think something might seem normal, like, oh, I pushed for the role, when really there was some background shenanigans or buffoonery going on. And for some reason, when they're saying that she aggressively pushed for the role, a part of me got a vibe that is she trying to use her status in Hollywood right now because she's been in a lot of movies, particularly the Jurassic World, which made money recently. Is she trying to leverage her position right now to try to get a role, even if the director probably doesn't want to give it? That's something that I'm thinking. Now, I could be completely wrong, completely off. I'm just being honest with you. This is the vibe that I kind of got when I heard that she aggressively pushed to get this role. So that's just one thing that I'm thinking of. But regardless, what do I think of Sebastian Stan getting this role of Two-Face? I'm not against it. Now, I think they can do better. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I am not against Sebastian Stan. I'm not against him playing Harvey Dent and Two-Face in Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2. Now, the reason why is because, first of all, hold on, let me get my image up. First of all, Sebastian Stan is not an A-list Avenger. He is not an A-list Avenger. He's more of like the B team, maybe even the C team. So he's not on the mainline Avengers. He's not on like the main Avengers team. So for him to come in to a Matt Reeves Batman movie, first of all, it's not as distracting for him to be in it. With Scarlett Johansson, it is distracting because she's like an A-list Avenger. That's like bringing Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. into the Batman movie. It's you just see the actor too much and you see their other Marvel role too much. But with Sebastian Stan, you are able to kind of not see it because he did a movie called The Night Comes for Us, which was on Netflix. And Tom Holland actually was in that movie too. And I said that Tom Holland, that's his best acting role, his best acting performance I think he has done, because you see Tom Holland, but you do not think Spider-Man. And the same for Sebastian Stan in that movie. You see Sebastian Stan, and he's actually gunning after Tom Holland in the movie, but you don't see Sebastian Stan chasing after Tom Holland. You know, it's funny. Him and Anthony Mackie always haze Tom Holland, but you don't get that vibe when you're watching them in the movie. It's not funny one bit, and that's because they really do transform their performances, and they do such a great job. So I think that Sebastian Stan, with the right director, just like in that movie, you can get, so I think, a really interesting performance out of him, and you will be able to keep him disconnected from his role as Bucky in the MCU. So I think under Matt Reeves, especially because Sebastian Stan has done a lot of other indie movies, I mean, he played Donald Trump in a movie, and there's a lot of other interesting roles that he's done. I'm like, you know what? Under Matt Reeves's directorship, I think that Sebastian Stan can't...
This is amazing!
Whoa, what just happened? That scared the crap out of me. I'll have a look at that in a second. Had my sound on way too loud. I didn't even realize. Is that my heart beating right now? Jeez. I'll take a look at that in a second. Let me just quickly get my point across. So Sebastian Stan, he... Give me a second. I'm sorry. I'll get right back to it. Hold on. I'm still shaken by that. I shouldn't have had my volume on that loud. Ugh. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. I'm heating up a little bit. Oof. Where was I? Okay, Sebastian Stan. You guys are laughing about that. All right, I'm sorry. I'll get back to that super chat in a second. Let me just finish this point. So Sebastian Stan, I think he is a great choice for Matt Reeves. For Batman, though, I don't quite know. I think it might... For playing Two-Face, like, if you look at this image, I know this is AI, his face doesn't seem like it's got the perfect shape for a Two-Face. It looks too curved and soft. If you look at Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face, his was like the perfect like jawline, the perfect facial shape, that it made the Two-Face effect look really good. But I think with Sebastian Stan, his face looks a bit too curved. So the Two-Face look, what I'm looking at right now, not quite what I don't think it's quite the best, if you know what I mean. So I like what I see, but I just don't think it's the best, but his performance could make up for it. So Sebastian Stan, I'm willing to go with that. I think they could have picked a better actor. Like, I think if they could have gotten Josh Hartnett, who was in that crappy M. Night Shyamalan movie, Trap, his performance in that was really good. I think he could play a multiple personality disorder Two-Face very well. So I would have liked him to have been in the movie. At the same time, though, I can see Sebastian Stan fitting within this aesthetic. The only reason I cannot see him fitting in this aesthetic is if she plays his wife in the movie. Scarlett Johansson is too well known. She is way too well known and too high profile to be in a Batman movie, because now when she talks, when she's in a movie, all you see is Black Widow and Scarlett Johansson. You don't quite see the character. Now with Robert Pattinson, Jeffrey Wright, we had Zoe Kravitz, who sounds like she's not going to be in this next one. But we've had a lot of actors where I feel like they're starting out and they're building a name for themselves to feel like they are big in this universe. So for them to take Scarlett Johansson, who's been in the MCU for over 10 years, and unlike Emma Stone, she has been in the MCU in the Black Widow movie, which came out last time was during COVID, so about 4 years ago or something. She was in the MCU not too long ago in the grand scheme of things, and to bring her into the Batman right now, it feels too quick. It doesn't feel like enough time has passed in the MCU. You still see her as Black Widow, and I don't think I've said this. I've always thought this. I don't think Scarlett Johansson is a good. Is she can? I don't think she can sell a movie on her own. That was one of the things I did not like about Jurassic World Rebirth. You had Alan Grant in the Jurassic Park movies. You had even had Jeff Goldblum in the second movie. You had Chris Pratt in the Jurassic World movies. These are actors that I feel like worked as leading men characters in the movies, as the main characters, and they had their own quirks. Alan Grant was like was like the dinosaur man. He says, "Do not move a muscle, and the T-Rex won't see you." He was a dinosaur expert. Jeff Goldblum, he learned some things from Alan Grant. He didn't really have too much going for him either, but he was Jeff Goldblum. He's got charisma, that weird Jeff Goldblum charisma. And then you had Chris Pratt, who you guys know back in the early days, I said I do not see him working in the Jurassic Park movie. But him training the Velociraptors, that was a really cool gimmick. And I thought conceptually it was quite cool, and it gave him something. Scarlett Johansson was the worst one, I thought, because she had no gimmick. She had no like recognizable character trait, and I found her to be quite boring as the character in Jurassic World Rebirth. So I've not seen her in a movie where I'm blown away by her acting. The last time I was impressed by her acting was a movie called Marriage Story. But since then, I've not seen a movie where she's blown me away in terms of her acting performance. And I've not seen her in a movie where I'm like, okay, that is a performance that is transformative. I see the potential. So I can see why Matt Reeves did not go to her first. He went to Emma Stone because she does fit an idea of playing Gilda Dent. But Scarlett Johansson, not so much. I think it'll be too obvious. It will be distractingly obvious. And the movie feels like it will be less like reliant on Robert Pattinson being the Batman in the movie and everything. And it feels more like what's going to sell you in the movie is the fact that Black Widow and the Winter Soldier are in a movie together playing husband and wife. And I don't like that. I think I agree, Adam Grunther. She was great in Marriage Story, but that was the last movie I thought she was great in of hers that I saw. So I think that Sebastian Stan, I could see it. Scarlett Johansson, I don't see it. I see the actress too much. I see Black Widow too much. And in a Batman movie, that is not the thing I want to be thinking when I watch a Batman movie. I want to be lost in these characters, and I was when I saw the first Batman movie. But two MCU characters that have actually been on screen together in the MCU. Remember, she fought Winter Soldier, Bucky, in Captain America the Winter Soldier, even in Civil War. So she's been around him, and this to me will be a bit too distracting to have two actors, MCU actors, in the film, and both of them in scenes together. Now, that's my issue with that. That is my issue. I think it's too distracting to bring her into it, and I hope Matt Reeves likes to take advice from Matt Reeves likes to take inspiration from David Fincher films, and I hope that just like what David Fincher did when Reese Witherspoon wanted to play the wife in Gone Girl, I hope Matt Reeves can go to Scarlett Johansson and say to her, "You are not right for the role." Because I think that Scarlett Johansson should kind of read the room and realize that she is a big MCU actress. And it's not that long ago when she was Black Widow, and to be in the Batman movie, I think she's taking the spotlight away from some of the other actors. And I hope that because she's meant to be like one of the most highest paid actresses, there's a history of high paid actors trying to take liberties from the director and from the story. And I hope to God she doesn't try to take creative control from Matt Reeves and try to make herself a bit more the center of attention in the movie. I hope Matt Reeves still has full control over this and that she doesn't try to change things. You know, there's a collaboration that directors and actors can do, but it ultimately is all up to the director in the end. And I hope she doesn't become difficult on that movie. That's something that I hope. So if I was Matt Reeves, just to avoid any potential stuff that could happen, I would just say no, that she can't be in it. Not only because it's distracting, because like I said, she's an A-list Avenger, but also because she's too high profile, potentially even more high profile than Robert Pattinson. And Robert Pattinson is supposed to be the one that feels like him and his villains are all on a certain level, but it feels like she's just too high. Even even Sebastian Stan can kind of float that level too, but she's way too high. And I just really hope they don't cast her. If they do cast her, she needs to know her place, let Matt Reeves do the directing, and I hope she doesn't try to leverage her position as an actress, her status, to make changes to the script, make changes to her character, to make demands. I hope that doesn't happen. Also, she gets paid a lot, so how much is she going to make the budget balloon up because they're going to pay her? You know, it's like, will they take a pay cut? Because for actors, like when actors work for Christopher Nolan, they take big pay cuts. Oppenheimer had such a great cast, and it was only $100 million movie. So I hope that, well, we'll see what happens. I just hope the movie gets the budget it needs and they don't have to scale down anything because they have to pay an actress like Scarlett Johansson. I just feel like Sebastian Stan and everyone, they fit on a certain level. I feel like she's just too high status personally. So I hope they do right by, I hope Matt Reeves does. I hope Matt Reeves gets the final say, and I really hope he can say no. And I wish want to see a different person act opposite of Sebastian Stan. I don't want her to play Gilda Dent. If she does play Gilda Dent, then I really hope that they come in and they do everything they can to make her look different. They give her a different wig. And I hope she puts on an accent too, maybe. I just don't want to hear Scarlett Johansson when she speaks. Maybe if she can hide that a bit with an accent that we've never heard from her before, they do her hair up, they give her a different look. If they can do all that, then maybe. Like, if they can really Matt Reeves her up and make her look more like a Matt Reeves character in this detective noir world. But I just don't want to see Scarlett Johansson when I'm seeing her play the character. I want to see something completely different to what she has ever done before. It's like if you were to hire Robert Downey Jr. in a Batman movie. You're going to be thinking Iron Man. So I've said before, if Robert Downey Jr. Hypothetically was ever in a Batman movie, I would have him play a villain. And the villain that he plays, I would have the villain be sick, twisted, and demented, like a very dark Batman villain, which is pretty much all of them. And I would make sure that if kids went in thinking that they would want that cool, we're going to go see Iron Man, they'll come out crying. That sounds like quite a strong. That sounds like quite a big thing to say, that you want Robert Downey Jr. to be that, but we saw him in Oppenheimer where he transformed his performance. I would want to see a transformative performance like that if he was ever in a Batman movie, and I don't want to see a shred of Tony Stark in him, just like I don't want to see a shred of Black Widow in Scarlett Johansson. So we'll see what happens. If you know anything about Gilda Dent, I don't want to spoil anything. I've read the Long Halloween comic. But there is more to her, and I hope Matt Reeves can bring that out of Scarlett Johansson if she does end up getting the role. But we'll see what happens. That's my opinion on it. I'll see what you guys think in a second, and then we'll talk further. Adam Grunther says everyone doubted Matt Reeves when he cast Robert Pattinson. Just saying, I was not one of those people that doubted him. I did not doubt him. I thought it was a very good choice. The same with even when he hired Zoe Kravitz. And when he hired Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, as well, not he wasn't commissioner at the time, but as Gordon, I said I trust Matt Reeves. I said that I don't think he's going to do a race bend just like other Hollywood people do, where it's just to say, look what we're doing, look how progressive and forward we're being. I said, if Matt Reeves does it, I believe him. So I've trusted Matt Reeves with his casting choices. That's why with Sebastian Stan, I'll trust him with him too. With Scarlett Johansson, I trust Matt Reeves, but I don't trust Scarlett Johansson. I wonder if she is going to use her actress status to leverage herself to get into the movie. Will she go behind his back, speak to studio executives or something? I don't know. I hope Matt Reeves gets to have the say. And I hope James Gunn will back Matt Reeves on whatever he chooses. So I hope that this basically I want this project to be fully in Matt Reeves' hands. If Matt Reeves says he'll go with Scarlett Johansson, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt until the movie comes out, even though I don't like it at all, the idea of it. Because Matt Reeves I do trust, but like I said, I don't trust Scarlett Johansson, and I have this feeling that she really is going to try to leverage her status as an actress to be in the movie. And like a lot of actors and actresses have done in the past, the big paid ones, like just look at Sigourney Weaver when she was in Alien 3. They make demands for the script. Like Sigourney Weaver did not want any guns in that movie, which was, that was something which a lot of people didn't like because it was worked so well with against the alien in the second movie, and then the third one, they were fighting one and having such trouble over fighting it. But basically, she used her status to kind of leverage decisions made in the script. I hope Scarlett Johansson doesn't do something like that because she is in that kind of position to do that if she potentially wanted to. But I hope Matt Reeves and the studio and James Gunn say no. Matt Reeves gets the final say. If you want to be in the movie, read the script. If you like it, have conversations with Matt Reeves. But ultimately, it's his say. And if he says this is what the role is, that's what the role is. You're gonna either take that or leave it. That's what I hope. Adam says if she had the ability, the Batman Part 2 would have been rushed out and be playing right now. Matt Reeves seems like he's allowed to do what he wants. That's because he wasn't casting anyone. So she wouldn't be able to have the movie. Hang on, let me see. If she had the ability, the Batman Part 2 would have been rushed out. No, it wouldn't be rushed out and playing right now because Matt Reeves had not even put the cast calling out. He's only done that recently. So she couldn't have forced him to get the movie out because she didn't even know what the script was. It's only once the script is done, Matt Reeves then starts doing a casting call. Only then can she try to come in and say, you know what, I want to do this and that with the script. But she can't do it when he's not finished writing it and when he's not done put the casting call out. That's why she said to her agent, if Emma Stone says no, I want to go in for it. And here's another thing that made me think: did anyone? Again, I am letting you know this can be crazy what I'm saying. But like I said, there is no limit to these people in Hollywood. You never know. Did Emma Stone turn it down because she wanted to turn it down, or did anyone put the message out there that turn it down? I know this can sound like a conspiracy completely, but a part of me was thinking, would Emma Stone turn it down, or did you guys hear what I'm saying? Like it does sound crazy, but never underestimate Hollywood. If you read stories in Hollywood, never underestimate it. Part of me was just wondering, is that something that happened? I don't know. But but if the fact that even popped up to the back of my mind just makes me think. But we'll see. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I trust Matt Reeves, but I hope that he's not done dirty. All right, now I'm going to read your questions, and I'm going to read that that question that gave me a heart attack. I'm going to read that right now. And then any questions you have about this, let me know. Let me know what you think about what I've said about Scarlett Johansson, about the fact that actors and actresses that get paid a certain level, that they do leverage their status to try to get what they want. Do you think she potentially does that? And my craziest theory is that maybe she did something or said something to put Emma Stone off of getting the role because she wanted it so badly. Because Scarlett Johansson, she wanted to work on that Tangled remake and play the mother in that, the villain. But because she wanted to work with the director of that film. But once she heard about this, she abandoned that, says she doesn't want that. She wants to work now on Batman. So Scarlett Johansson really is being very aggressive. It's almost like she wants to have all the toys to herself. And she's like, I want that one. Actually, no, I changed my mind. I want that one. It's like, I just get a vibe. It seems like she's being a little cuckoo crazy with the way that she's going about all these roles. It's a bit like Veruca. It goes, I want this, I want that. Don't care how, I want it now. It kind of just comes across like that. All right. Now let me see. Just writing some of these notes here. All right, let's see. Holy moly. Jonah White has tipped £164.25. I was about to say, I think I'm going to have another heart attack. Oh, Jonah, I don't know what to say. That is incredibly generous of you. I said that the copyright the copyright claim and blocks that I've been getting for the Welcome to Dairy reviews has been really hurtful to the channel, but I think you've really helped in a huge way for that. That's so generous of you. Let me just write that down, then I'll read your question. Jonah, that is so incredibly nice and generous of you. Thank you very much for that. 164 pounds 25. That is crazy. That's kind of reminds me of what Jake used to do, if you guys remember when Jake used to drop big sums. Nate says, no, you're paranoid, Eric. I hope so. Well, I don't hope so. I just hope I'm wrong, you know. Because like I said, Hollywood people, you never know with them. Especially when they have, like, big status and all that. Billy says, I always thought that Emma Stone was tired of the superhero genre. Did she ever imply that? If so, I must have missed it. Let's see. Okay, so Jonah White says, I think you will enjoy Star Wars Andor. I do want to watch that show. My parents have watched it. They loved it. I want to watch it, but damn, like I said, I've just been so busy. I've not really had the time. So I really do want to watch it, though. I'll try. And Jonah says, so here is a donation for a review of the first 6 episodes. I'll be back to give another donation for you to continue, or you can continue at your own pace, lol. Enjoy the content. What do you mean? You're saying, so here is a donation for a review of the first 6 episodes. The first 6 episodes of what? For a review of the first 6 episodes. I'll be back to give another donation for you to continue, or you can continue at your own pace. Lol, enjoy the content. What is Jonah talking about? Did I miss... Was he saying something as I was speaking about something? Oh. Has tipped 164.25. I think you'll enjoy Star Wars Andor. Here is a donation for you to review the first 6 episodes. I'll be back to give another donation. Oh, right. Did I write that down? Like, in order to do to commission that, you have to pay that much? I thought I commissioned more. Review. Are you saying review? Apologies, guys. Hold on a second. Where are we? I have to go look at my Patreon memberships. If you go to Patreon, you'll see I've got a bunch of quick movie reviews and quick TV show reviews and everything. A review of the first 6 episodes. Jonah, I don't know if he's here or if he's left, but I need to ask you some questions, bud. Because I don't know if the math adds up or not. I'll have to check with you later. Oh, Adam Grunther has to get back to work. Okay, thanks, Adam Grunther, very, very much for joining. And you were here for a good while, so I appreciate that. That's great. It was great to have you here. Okay. All right. Okay, so I need to speak to Jonah about what he wants from that. A review or a let's watch? Like, I don't understand. I'll have to have a look. And then we have Iron Warrior, who's done a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, bud. He says, hey, how would you rank your most anticipated superhero movies this year? AKA Clayface, Supergirl, Avengers Doomsday, and Spider-Man. Oh, my most anticipated. Okay, my most anticipated first is... You know what? I was going to say Clayface, but I will just say Avengers Doomsday out of curiosity. I'm not really anticipating it, but I'm more curious about it. So, Doomsday. Then I will go with Clayface, Spider-Man, and Supergirl. Oh, take care, Charleston. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Ethan's drawing. I've been good. How about yourself? Great to see you, bud. Yeah, it does. People are saying it reminds them of Jake from back in the day. Yep, it does remind you of Jake, the big donation. Do you guys know what Jonah was talking about? Is he talking about me reviewing the first 6 episodes or doing a let's watch of the first 6? Is he referencing when I show the background here? Um is he referencing this? No, that's a different price. Yeah, I need to speak to Jonah, and it doesn't seem like he's here. A review for the first 6 episodes, but if he's basing that off a review, my quick movie review, well, my quick TV show reviews is $300. And I don't know if $300 translates to £164.25. Alexa, how much is $300 in pounds? 300 US dollars is about 223 pounds and 82 pence. Well, that's 223 pounds. So I need to speak to Jonah. That's doesn't seem. Oh, he's done $220, it says. Okay, I need to speak to speak to Jonah because he's he's done enough for just over a quick movie review, but not for a quick show review. All right, I need to speak to Jonah about that. Okay, guys, any questions about this? What do you think? Do you think Sebastian Stan will be a good Two-Face? Do you think that it's too much? Sorry, oh, sugar. No, 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 no. We're not in the Q&A. Here you go. All right. Sorry about that. So, what do you think of Sebastian Stan being Two-Face? Do you think it's great? Do you think uh do you think that with Scarlett Johansson that's too much MCU for a Batman movie? Let me know what you think. Rohan says, I think he would make for a very good Two-Face, but not a perfect one. I agree. Not a perfect or best one. Hope so. He does. Hope so. He does great as Spider Will. Billy says, I think he has the potential to be great. I agree. Anthony Collins says, is Scarlett's range limited? I would say it is. She's not a leading actor to me. She can't lead a movie, I don't think. She can be a good supporting character, but she's not the lead in a movie. I don't think she's a lead. Afro says, it will certainly be interesting, but I don't know if you brought it up. Who would you have picked for Two-Face? I'd say Josh Hartnett was one of the actors I would have cast for Two-Face. Josh Hartnett, if you watch him in the M. Night Shyamalan movie Trap, the movie wasn't really any good, but he was very good in it. He has got some crazy range. He can look like a crazy person, and he can look like a normal person and a very chill person. So he has range. I would have gone for Josh Hartnett. I think he would have been an interesting one to pick. And I think he could have looked like a scary Two-Face as well. Like he's a very good actor in that movie. Fantastic Four: World's Greatest Heroes, was that the Cartoon Network show? If so, I really enjoyed that as a kid. Cole says, I honestly think he'll be a great Two-Face. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Oscar Isaac would be a good Two-Face if you ask me. Yeah, he could also be a good actor, but I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I feel like Oscar Isaac is a bit too recognizable, but not in the right way. I don't know. I can see Oscar Isaac playing something, but I don't know if he could play. Because I've seen him go crazy as well in movies. He's a very good actor, but I think I want something different than the energy Oscar Isaac gives. Because I've seen him yell and go crazy and things. I do want to see someone do that who hasn't really quite done that. And Sebastian Stan could potentially do that. We'll have to see. Anime Zilla is saying replace her with Aquafina. No way. I'd rather have Scarlett Johansson. Joshman says, Eric, I know in The Dark Knight they picked a really good actor to play Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. Yeah, they picked Aaron Eckhart. He was a great actor to play Two-Face. He did a phenomenal job. Like, that's the one that people will remember. And that was a great effect they did too. In fact, a lot of directors even said to Christopher Nolan, how did you get the movie to be PG-13? I think the Two-Face effect and the tension in the movie was something that they felt was something that was warranted for an R-rated movie. Fireboy says Sebastian Stan is an interesting choice to play Two-Face. I'm very curious of what role he will be in Batman Part 2. I'm very curious as well. Yeah, he is a good voice actor, but not face on screen, says Billy. Was the Two-Face effect CGI or practical? A little bit practical on the head, like, with the burned head, but it was CGI. And Christopher Nolan said he did CGI because he didn't want the face to look so disturbing and real. If it was done with practical effects, it would be off-putting. And he said with CGI, you can tell just enough that it's fake, that it's not disturbing or off-putting to look at. And I think I get what he's talking about, because it looks gross and everything, but it doesn't look disgustingly gross, like morbid. $5 super chat from Kevin, who says Transformers 1 didn't do so well because it's animated and people are getting sick and tired of the series. Is the Dharma show better than Joker, Folly, or whatever's? I've not seen all of Dharma. I've seen, I think, some of an episode, like a good chunk of an episode. Very intense. And yeah, based on just that one episode I saw, yeah, it's definitely better than Joker, Folly, or shit. It's definitely better. Have James McAvoy play Two-Face after his role in Split? I don't think so. James McAvoy, he played Charles Xavier and everything, but I don't think he can play the district attorney side. That's something where I feel like you need someone that's a bit more grounded, normal looking. James McAvoy, in movies, he can get, there's just something a little bit unstable about him, but not in the way that you want from Two-Face. He needs to come across a little bit more, he comes across a bit more unusual. I think Harvey Dent needs to come across a bit more ordinary and like an everyman. And James McAvoy has a very unique presentation about himself, and the way he presents himself, the way he just comes across. I don't know if he can pull that side off to the level that you need it to be for Harvey Dent. Like, I'm just looking at Sebastian Stan here. You can just see that you can see him that as initially as being a proud man. And like, just put him in the suit and everything right there. And yeah, you can see a version of Harvey Dent there. I don't see that with James McAvoy. I think you just kind of question him at the very beginning. Bradley Cooper as Two-Face, potentially, but I don't know. Bradley Cooper is a very good actor, but I don't know if Two-Face is the role for him, Harvey Dent. Eric, I do agree with you. The actor that played Two-Face in The Dark Knight, he really was perfectly cast, and they did manage to utilize the PG-13 rating. Yeah, every movie, Marvel, all these movies, even PG-13 horror movies, they always talk about, well, look at what The Dark Knight was able to do. And it's like, yeah, but The Dark Knight was able to operate within those limits, and it knew how to push it. Marvel never knew how to push it that far. They've never pushed it that far. And the fact they were trying to say, well, The Dark Knight is PG-13, we can push it really far. It's like, yeah, that's because DC know how to push it. You do not. So, yeah, The Rock has Two-Face. No thanks. Two-Face, shoot The Rock. Khan says, all I can say is score better in the movie for just for a huge paycheck. What do you think about Street Fighter movie from 2026, says Edwards. I've seen the trailer once, and it was during the live stream, I think, for one of those Game Awards recently, and I watched it live on the Discord server with a bunch of viewers, a bunch of other Discord members. We all watched and reacted to it. I thought it looked pretty cool, but it could go very wrong. You don't know. The trailer is quite vague, and stylistically, what might be cool in a trailer might be very exhausting and tiring in the movie. Big Bash says The Rock, the pebble is more accurate for him. It is indeed. Eric, would you play a good would I play a good Two-Face? No, I don't think I would be a good Two-Face. Edward says, what new videos are you going to be releasing? Zootopia 1 versus 2. I'm also working on my best and worst movies list, so those will be some of the ones that I'm working on. All right. Does anyone have anything else to say about this? What do you guys think of Scarlett Johansson? We'll talk about her now. What do you think of Scarlett Johansson in the role of Gilda Dent, opposite Harvey Dent, played by Sebastian Stan? Do you think that's a good choice, or do you think that's a bad choice? Oh, there you go. Jonah White has done it again. Let's see. That's £61 22. And he says, "Sorry, forgot the price. Here is the rest." I think a quick review. Okay, so you want my quick TV show reviews? Okay, I think a quick review of the first 6 or 12 episodes of Andor is a good entry into the show. I think quick review of the first 6 or 12 episodes of Andor is a good entry into the show. If the quick review is harder to make than the Let's Watch, you can do either. Don't want to make your job harder. Oh, thanks, bud. That means I appreciate that. But when I say quick TV show review, I mean that I'm going to do a review of the entire 6 episodes. So let's say I do Andor episode 1 to 6 review, for example, and I review the episodes as a whole, basically, and it's not going to be like a let's binge watch. It's going to be like more of a review format. Quick TV show reviews will be a review format. I'll talk about the pacing of the episodes. I'll talk about the progression of them. I'll talk about how the story goes, and I'm going to run through them that way. Well, not run through, but you know what I mean. It'll be more in my quick movie reviews format where I talk about the series. So yeah, give me a second here. Oh, there you go then. So yeah, he's done the brand new quick show reviews. Okay then, bud. You've got those done. Let me see. How much is that? That is a maximum of 8 episodes. I can review 8 of the episodes based on that donation you've done, bud. So yeah, I'll review 8 episodes. Let's take a quick have a look. So guys, that's another commission that is put out there. Andor. How much episodes is in the first season? 12. Okay, so I'll do 8 episodes here. And then I'll do the rest of them after that, if you commission the one after that. And yeah, so yeah, that's 8 episodes I'll watch and review for you. Okay. Okay, so let's see what you guys think of Scarlett Johansson. I thought she was playing Poison Ivy, said Richard. No, what actually happened is that people were speculating. They speculated that she'll play either Poison Ivy or the Phantasm, Andrea Beaumont, or she would play Gilda Dent and another character. There is a rumor going around that she could play a female Two-Face, which was a twist, I think, in one of the alternate universe comics. And I hope Matt Reeves does not do that. No gender bending here, okay? That's not what I want to see or anyone wants to see. Billy says, Eric, I think Scarlett could be tolerable if they change her hair, makeup, and keep her face out of focus as much as possible. That's more aggressive than what I was saying, which is where I said I wanted them to do everything they could to make her look not like Scarlett Johansson. Judge, yes, live action Phantasm. That's something that people were speculating that could be happening. But based on the way things are sounding, the movie seems to be taking a lot of inspiration from the Batman The Long Halloween comic, which Matt Reeves did take inspiration from for the first movie as well. But this one's going to be very heavily based on Harvey Dent, and is also going to have his wife, Gilda Dent, in it. So we'll see how that goes and how they do it. Yeah, I hope so, that they don't pull a Disney and cast her as Two-Face. Rohan says, I think she could do well, but it will depend on Matt Reeves directing to see if she's really great on acting outside of Marvel, besides on some projects that she was in. Anthony says, Eric, I was saying I love Scarlett, but it feels like she's in every movie these days. Yeah, that's another thing. She's getting overexposed. She's also going to be in the next Exorcist movie as well. They're going to be doing another Exorcist movie. Mike Flanagan is going to be writing and directing it. It's why he could not direct Two-Face, because he's working... sorry, not Two-Face, Clayface, because he's working on that Exorcist movie, and she's in that as well. So, yeah, crazy. Oh, Richard says, I will say at least watch the first 3 episodes in one go. Yeah, I'll definitely try. Khan says, what I was trying to say before Scarlett, I better not be in the movie. Oh, you're trying to say that she better not be in the movie just for a huge paycheck. I hope so too, but I think if she wanted to be in a movie for a huge paycheck, I'm sure Marvel would have called her and says be in Secret Wars, and then she could have got a big paycheck that way like everyone else. Or maybe they're not calling her, and maybe that's why she wants to be in this. Because she's not going to be in the others. Big Bash, I do agree. We did think Mr. Freeze would have been the villain at first. Turns out he's not. Big Bash says, what are you eating, Eric? I just had a bit of chocolate on my plate, because before I did the live stream, I was having a green tea. And I had some chocolate on the plate. I didn't finish it, and I just had some of it now. Earlier, I was feeling exhausted. I was feeling very tired, and I had to set up the live stream. I had to write my points down. I also had to make the thumbnail of the live stream, and I was just exhausted to do it. So I got myself a fizzy drink, which I've not drank in a long time now because I've been having water. Had about half a bottle of this. All of a sudden, I was awake. I was watching Young Sheldon some episodes of with my tea, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to... No, I didn't have tea, actually. I was later. I was watching it with my tea. But earlier, I was watching some Young Sheldon, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to rest anymore. I've got some energy. I feel like a kid again. I'm going to go and edit my live stream thumbnail. I'm going to go write the stories down. I'm going to go write my notes. I'm going to get all of these presentations ready that you're watching for each of these stories. I'm going to go do all of that. And I did in one sitting. So that is cool. That's I got some good energy out of that. $5 super chat from Iron Warrior. He says, did you hear of Warner Brothers, I think, turning down Tom Cruise doing an underwater movie because he wanted $275 million and they capped at $230 million reportedly. I actually did not hear that story, but I did hear that Tom Cruise was going to do a movie where he was going to go into space, and now he's decided against it. Excuse me. So that's another project that Tom Cruise was originally going to be in, but now he's not being in. Unless this might be the same one, I don't know. But it's interesting, yeah, that they're turning Tom Cruise down. Bizarre. Big Bash says Tom Cruise should come out of his closet. Should come out of the closet. I get that reference. All right, then. Time to move on to the next story. And you can ask me more about the Batman's casting story in the Q&A when we get to it. All right. Avengers Doomsday. Now, Avengers Doomsday is a movie that's coming out in about a year's time. Well, not a year's time anymore. 11 months. So we're getting closer to it coming out. At the end of the year, we're going to get Avengers Doomsday. This is a movie that, by many reports that we've heard, is a mess in production. They've been shooting the movie despite not having a complete script. And the movie has been going through some production troubles. They've had to pay actors huge sums of money, so the budget has ballooned up to like over $700 million just for Avengers Doomsday. And based on what we have been seeing with Marvel's accounts and track records and tax returns recently, that's whatever their original budget is that they put out there for the public to see, we find out a few years later through their tax returns and things that really their budgets are much higher. So I wonder how much they're really paying for Avengers Doomsday. Whatever they're paying a heck of a lot. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to bolster up hype for the movie. And one of the ways they're trying to do that is with these trailers that they released. And they were going to release each of these trailers, 4 mini trailers, and it was going to be like teasers, and they were going to release them in theaters only first for a limited time every single week at each of the Avatar screenings, Avatar Fire and Ash. They wanted to get more people to go in to watch Avatar Fire and Ash because Fire and Ash was tracking to underperform when compared to Avatar 1 and especially 2. So because of that, they were trying to get more people in and they thought this would do it. And it didn't, because a lot of people were just filming and recording the trailers and putting them up on the internet. Even on my private Discord server, people were sharing the trailers that was being uploaded from other sites. Again, another reason you want to join my private Discord server. We've got a lot of this stuff we've already been talking about for a while. And I've been reacting on my Discord server too to these trailers, and so have you guys who've joined the Discord. Okay, so what teasers did we get? The first teaser we got was one that teased the return of Steve Rogers, Captain America. The other one we got was teasing Thor, which, they really kind of screwed him up in Thor Love and Thunder, but they teased him there and brought his daughter in again, which was a confusing way to end his character's arc, but whatever, they did that. There's the shitty phase of the MCU. And then they showed us this, which was the X-Men trailer, which is interesting because that's the one that generated the most hype. And again, to me, that shows that Marvel are in a bad place, that no one is showing excitement for their mainline MCU characters, but they are showing excitement for the 20th Century Fox characters. That says a lot about the state of Marvel, that people couldn't care about the others, but they care a lot about the X-Men. And the final trailer, which has not been released online yet, but again has been leaked, again on my private Discord server, I've even seen it, is we actually see the fourth and final trailer was actually, in my opinion, the worst. We see M'Baku, we see Shuri, we also saw Namor there as well, I think, and they were talking to someone, and we were like, who are they talking to? And it turns out they were talking to the Thing. That was so lame to me. I was like, so what if some of the Wakandans, the side characters of the Wakandans, see the Thing? Because the Fantastic Four movie turned out to be disappointing in the end. It's like a movie that actually was not even getting much viewership at all on Disney Plus when it came out, which was very puzzling. It was like Fantastic Four just kind of like just died out. People were just not interested when it hit Disney Plus. So what happened is that they've gotten this to show, which is these guys all meeting the Thing, but it's like, who cares? The Fantastic Four movie was not that good. The characters there didn't take off immediately with other people. A lot of people still feel they've been miscast. And now you're bringing the side characters in. I know T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, passed away, so the character passed away too. And now Shuri replaces Black Panther, but she is not a worthy replacement for him. It just feels out of place to replace him with the side character. But regardless, she does a good job, but she still feels like a side character. And they're trying to basically have those three meet the Thing. And I think what they were trying to do with this, they were trying to mimic what happened when Thor met the Guardians of the Galaxy in the Avengers Infinity War trailer. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like they were trying to recapture that kind of energy, but it just didn't work. It didn't hit whatsoever. It was boring. And when they said Shuri, M'Baku, Namor, and the Thing will return in Avengers Doomsday, I was like, come on, that is such a lame character roster. It's just so bizarre. Does that even sound interesting to you guys? Or do you guys think that, like, come on, like, that's the characters you're trying to sell us on after the freaking X-Men? Like, how lame. That really is lame what they just did right there. Billy says they did a better job at making her take T'Challa's place in the video game. Oh, are you talking about the Avengers game? I don't know. I've not played. I don't know which game you're talking about. I can only speculate. Rohan says, I mean, we'll have to see when the movie comes out. Yeah, we will have to see when the movie comes out, but the thing is, that's not what a teaser trailer cares about. A teaser trailer is supposed to get you hyped. And yeah, I could see people getting hyped with the first three trailers. I can see them getting hyped with Captain America. Well, I can't really see them getting hyped with Thor, considering what they did to him in Thor Love and Thunder. But I can see people getting hyped with the X-Men. But I don't see people getting hyped with these three. It's just a lame roster right there, and a lot of people did not even watch Fantastic Four because it didn't make crazy money at the box office. In fact, The Conjuring 4, which was a much cheaper movie, almost matched Fantastic Four at the box office. So, yeah, they didn't do anywhere near as good as they were supposed to. Uh, AnimeZilla says it sounds like there is too much going on. Yes, there is going to be way too much characters in this movie. And that's why I have long said, I speculate that what they're going to do is have Doctor Doom kill so many of these MCU characters because they didn't take off with mainstream audiences, and it's just too much for Marvel to keep track of. Simu Liu came out saying that he still doesn't have a sequel to Shang-Chi, but he's not the only one. There are so many characters in the MCU movies and the MCU TV shows that have just had one appearance and we've never seen them again. So that's a big problem for Marvel. It's too much for them to maintain and keep track of. And they can't make a sequel for everyone. They can't even make a second season for everyone. So because of that, what I speculate that Marvel are going to do in Avengers Doomsday is they are going to kill a lot of the Avengers off. And then in interviews, they're going to say, well, we at Marvel, we like to take bold risks with our storytelling, and we like to go these places that people normally wouldn't go. When really, they are doing themselves a big solid here, and they're trying to clear the board for themselves, or at least neaten it, and get rid of the characters that did not connect with people. So that's what they are ultimately going to do, I think. And yeah, they're going to say, yeah, look how bold it is. Look how brave it is. Yeah, we really tried to push the envelope here at Marvel. But then you're going to notice that it's just to help them out, to clear the board, because they've got too many characters to deal with. They don't know what to do with them. So I'm not going to fall for that when they say that. So I'm predicting it right now. Once I do, clip this and put it on social media and let people know that I said it first. Omar says, yeah, the writing is going downhill. Iron Warrior has done a $2 super chat and says, who do you think should die or you think will die? Some people speculated that Bucky is going to die because he's in the Batman movie. And they're going to be shooting the Batman movie. And they think that because of that, Sebastian Stan might not be in Avengers Secret Wars and he might die in Doomsday. I don't know if that's true because Marvel shoots stuff like, right at the last minute and green screen everybody in. So I'm sure if they really wanted to bring him in, they could find a way. And they could CG him when he's not talking and he's fighting in the background and everything. But in terms of killing characters off, they're definitely going to kill off characters that they just don't want to make more. They're going to kill off all the unpopular characters post-Endgame. Characters that they don't want to make more movies of, characters that they don't think they have a future with and that didn't take off with audiences. Which, to me, means that they'll probably kill off pretty much most of them. And they'll try to keep the X-Men. They'll try to keep the mainstream Avengers, like Captain America, I think, Thor. I think they're going to want to hold on to them now because they're afraid of what the MCU is without them. And people like Chris Evans, whose career has just been going down the toilet because he's chosen some truly stupid roles. Knives Out was a good one, but then there was another one where he was in a movie with Ana de Armas and he was just the boyfriend. That's a role that you get when you're a nobody and you're trying to build yourself up in Hollywood. But he was an action hero, and look what he did to himself in that movie. He just kind of went down the ladder himself, which wasn't a good look, I think, for a big action hero to do that. So that was not particularly good for him in the eyes of the optics of that. So I think he would come back to the MCU because his career. He even said it in an interview with Dakota Johnson in there. He goes, he was asked a question about the other two. I think the other two were asked a question like, would you go to Chris for advice, or what advice would you give them? And he goes, I would just say, just do what you're doing, because if I give you advice, I'd ruin both those careers. Like, he's talking about his own career right there. So even Chris Evans feels like his career did not work out. And sadly, it didn't. I think Knives Out was a good choice, but after that, he just did so many bad choices. So I can see Chris Evans coming back to the MCU because of that. Chris Hemsworth, he just wants to get a job. That's the vibe I get, is that he just wants to keep being in the MCU if it means getting him a job. So that's what I get from him. Our X-Men, they coming into the MCU for the first time now, properly, like, with the mainstream MCU characters. That's something I know Hugh Jackman wanted, and Hugh Jackman and Deadpool are both apparently supposed to be in the movie, but it's just not been said. So they'll be in the film as well. Richard says, you couldn't live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Yep, it did. And apparently there's a rumor that Thanos might appear in there as well in the Doomsday movie or Secret Wars. So, which is interesting that they want to try to potentially bring him back in. So yeah, they literally did come right back to him. They should have made a Deadpool kill the MCU movie. That would be peak. I said that a long time ago. That's what they should do, because I've read those comics. Deadpool could come in and clear the board, but I guess they're going to have Iron Man come in and kill the MCU instead. What happens if that is what Avengers Doomsday is basically a low-key, not low-key, low-key, uh, Doctor Doom kills the MCU movie? I just wondered that. That would be an interesting thing, wouldn't it? Bonnie, I've not seen Bonnie for Toy Story 5. Does she look like AI now? Whoa. Matthew says, hey, Eric, sorry I haven't been in the streams for a while. That's okay, buddy. You're back now, and I appreciate that. So what do you guys think of these trailers? I think the trailers have been ultimately a desperate move. I think there was one good trailer with the X-Men, but the rest of the trailers to me, they've just been weak. They've just been weak. They're trying to get the hype back, but the hype is not back for me. Because if anything, for characters like Chris Evans as Captain America, he had a perfect ending. So to undo it is not only an insult to him, but it is also an insult to Anthony Mackie, who's only had like one real go at being Captain America, and it didn't work out. And now Captain America is going to come back to be Captain America. So yeah, and Spider-Will has said it. I'm only excited for the X-Men. Everyone is only excited for the X-Men. They don't seem to care about any of the others. So yeah. Only thing they have is Spider-Man, but really, can Tom Holland's character really save the MCU? No, he can't. Not on his own. If anything, it's because of him that the MCU got kind of screwed in No Way Home because of his stupid decisions. Doomsday will be a sequel to Endgame. Well, let's hope it is, and let's hope they do a good job with it. The Dark Lord of the Sith says, I just don't care for this film at all. I feel you, buddy. Ooh. Chris Evans is coming back at Steve Rogers, not as Captain America. You know what I mean, Steve Rogers. Put him in the costume, he is Captain America. It's a movie I have no hype for. Yeah, it's more curiosity than anything. Big Bash says, it's the lack of setup what kills me. Yeah, there is no setup for it. That we don't even know what this Doctor Doom is either. So it's a huge mess is what it is. Honestly, this movie has just been kind of whatever to me. Lack of hype, says the G Gamer. It's the lack of hype. I've said we don't need trailers like this. I think the X-Men one was fine, but we don't need these kind of trailers. We just need something to build us up about this version of Doctor Doom, because we don't know who this Doctor Doom is. It's just really quite ridiculous. Anime Zilla says, at this point, I might give up on the MCU. Yeah, I don't blame you for giving up on it. I really don't blame you. But we'll see what happens and what comes of it. Maybe the Russos can surprise us. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I just watched Total Drama All Stars. I hated May. He butchered, or Mai. Mal, are you saying? He butchered that season. I've not seen All Stars, I haven't. I stopped at World Tour. I was like halfway through it, and I think it became less funny to me. But Total Drama Action, I remember, was my favorite one. That was really, really funny. Ooh, Spirit Hero says Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was the last one he saw. Interesting. So yeah, basically to me, like I said, they come across as desperate. I don't think these are particularly good MCU trailers for Doomsday, but it just goes to highlight the problems that the MCU have been facing and that they've not set any of this up. You could tell they had no plans. They've said they had a plan, but now that we've seen what's been going on, they never had a plan. It was all a lie when if ever they said they did have a plan. All right then. No, I've not seen the new Tron movie, although it wouldn't surprise me if that ended up on my worst of list. Big Bash, I love all the adult jokes and total drama as well. All right then, now time to move on to the next story, which is Tangled. Now, for those of you that don't know, this movie was reportedly going to be shelved or cancelled after the Snow White remake, because that movie just did so bad to the just such a bad reputation it gave to Disney and to a lot of people involved. And it put a lot of people off of these remakes, of these live action Disney remakes. But the thing is, then Lilo and Stitch came out, made a buttload of money, and Disney were like, all right then, Tangled is back on the menu. So now we have gotten our cast. We've got a new cast for Tangled. They've cast our Rapunzel and our Flynn Rider. So here you go. Here's our two cast members. Hey, wait a minute. Those aren't our two actors. Yeah, I want to talk about these two. Um, the actors here, if you don't know who they are, on the left we have Mason Thames, and on the right over there we have McKenna Grace. Now, McKenna Grace, these two are both a couple in real life. They're boyfriend girlfriend, and these two are both boyfriend girlfriend in real life. And interestingly, something that has been going around is that McKenna Grace here, she's really been trying to push to push herself to play. She really has been trying to advertise herself and put herself out there, saying that she wants to play Rapunzel in a live-action Tangled movie. She's done this for a while. Like, this has been going around on the internet, saying McKenna Grace is says that she wants to play Rapunzel, and they were making stories out of this and everything. And I was like, man, she's really trying to push for it, isn't she? Will she even get it? Because she's in pretty much everything nowadays. And then Mason Thames, her boyfriend, when they both were in a movie together recently, and and in an interview she was talking about playing Rapunzel. That's something that she wanted, and then she tried to bring him in and say that he could play Flynn Rider. And again, that was them trying to push. As you could tell, they're trying to put their names out there, to play these two iconic characters. And as you're about to find out, it has not worked out. And this picture of them right here, it's almost like they're reacting to the news. That's why I put this picture here, because I thought it was quite funny. In actuality, these are the two actors that we're getting that are going to play live action Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. And you can just see Mason Thames and her. Like, Mason Thames, it's like he's looking at them. You could just see he's like almost in shock that those two are playing the characters. So, yeah. Now, one of these actors you'll recognize, and that is the actress on the left. Her name is Tegan Croft. Now, you might recognize her, you might not. I didn't recognize her, but I kind of did once I found out who she played. Who she's played in the past in a show that I've seen was Titans. She played Raven in Titans, and honestly, I thought she was miscast in that show. Like, phenomenally miscast. Everything from her voice to just her demeanor, everything. I thought she was very miscast for that for that show. However, when you look at her now and you see how she looks like, she's got what she looks like with the blonde hair and everything, she does actually fit the look of Rapunzel, I think. Or she's one of the actresses that looks like she could play Rapunzel. Like, I can easily see why they cast her. And this seems more in line with something that fits her performance and fits her roles. Because in Raven, like I said, she had no business playing that character. It was a complete miscast. But this feels like it fits her performance a lot better. So they got her here to play Rapunzel. And then we have another actor here called Milo Manheim or something, and he plays Flynn Rider. I've not seen him in anything, but he's been in some shows that some other people have, some other kids or generations have seen. But he's not a big name actor, and when I'm looking at him, I don't see the Flynn Rider in him. I'm kind of surprised they even hired him. Flynn Rider is someone who's very expressive, but also kind of charming and cool at the same time, or someone that tries to be cool, but he seems a bit sleazy. And this guy probably can get the sleazy down, but I don't know if he can get the coolness down. I just don't see it in him. So yeah, I'm not sure about this guy. I think she fits this role, but I don't see him fitting the role. Plus, he's also meant to be a Zio, so I can already see that that's going to cause problems when, well, once the movie starts coming out. Because yeah, you do not look good if that's the side that you're on, and yeah, it's like a sin against humanity, and yeah, that's not going to look good for him. I'm surprised Disney cast him. I mean, I'm not surprised because Disney are Zios as well, but you'd think that they would try to pay attention to that because that is something that has stuck. And as we're seeing stuff going on with ICE, as we're seeing stuff going on in Israel and everything, what they're doing to Palestinians and everything, it's like their reputation is not getting better, nor do they seem to care about making it get better. You're just seeing worse and worse atrocities, and then them trying to justify it. And people are just getting more and more, like, just mad about this, that there is that kind of evil in the world. And for them to cast him, did they even pay attention to that, or do they think it doesn't matter? I think it probably will matter as we get closer to the release of this movie, and yeah, I don't think that's going to work out well for them. So yeah, that's basically what we've got. Those are the cast members for the Rapunzel live action remake. Now, again, this comes back down. You guys know I do versus videos of all these live action Disney remakes. No one wants this either. Again, it's like if they wanted to do something with this, maybe do a good sequel, get the original people back, give them the time to make a good sequel, and get a sequel. But I don't know why they're trying to just do another remake of this. Well, I guess I know why. It's the money, isn't it? That's all they want to do it for. But yeah, I hear this, I just get exhausted because I'm like, there is no appeal to seeing this in live action. I've not seen the animated movie in years. I think I would rather go see the animated movie again, because I've not seen it in a while. And then we also have the horse over there in the poster, which was one of the great animated, sort of like animated horses I think I've ever seen. Such a funny character. My favorite character, in fact. The horse and Flynn Rider's relationship is really funny in the movie. Oh God, can you imagine if they hire Aquafina for the horse? They'll find a way, I feel. It's like, God. Thanks to Kevin for the $5 super chat. He says, GameStop is shutting down. Oh, and I'm glad because the employees treat me like trash. I hope your new year was great and you didn't talk about my Transformers questions. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you... Maybe I thought there wasn't a question there. Maybe... Let me go back to it. Write your question because I don't see... Actually, no, I should see it here. Let me see. There it is. Transformers 1 didn't do so well because it's animated and people are getting sick and tired of the series. Oh, you put a question mark. So you're saying people are getting sick and tired of the series? You pose it as a question. I thought it was a statement, the way you said it. People are not getting sick and tired of it. It's just that I think the marketing for Transformers 1 was atrocious because when I saw it, it looked like a kiddie movie. I think if the marketing was more true to what it was and showcased the portrayal and how deep the story could get, I think it probably would have made a bit more money. The fact is they didn't do that, and I think that's what put a lot of people off. It looked like a kids movie, a kiddie movie. You know that I liked it. It ended up on my best movies list of that year, which I did not expect. So it's a great movie, but they needed to do better with the marketing. The marketing even put me off, and I did not see it in theaters. So I think they needed to do better, I think, and they kind of ruined it for themselves, if I'm being honest with you. Now, I'm also wondering about Rapunzel's hair. How are they going to... Because in animation, you can get past that, and, you can just accept that there's nothing in that hair, but in live action, hair that long, you're going to expect a bunch of branches, a bunch of trees, a bunch of crap, a bunch of probably dead rodents in there. Like, there's going to be a huge mess. It's going to be ugly. But I wonder how they try to do that in live action. In animation, you can say, no, it's all clean and silky, glossy all the way through. But really, in live action, you're going to be having questions. And I wonder, will they be able to just hide that? Or will they have to acknowledge it? I wonder. I mean, in the movie, the animated movie, they went to that city once where a bunch of little girls like tied up Rapunzel's hair and it wasn't so long anymore. So I wonder if they potentially could do something like that. But we'll see. Tangled better than Frozen. Yes, I agree. I do think Tangled is better than Frozen. Option 3, they will say since it's magical, the glow of the hair gets rid of the dirt. Yeah, maybe it glows and that just cleans everything out, maybe? Which then raises the question, what if a person gets stuck in the hair? Can it glow and make that person disappear? I feel like that's a dark line of thought right there. Like her hair could be that of a horror movie, something like that. Afro says, bet a lot of people are glad Zachary Levi isn't returning. Zachary Levi, I think, actually could have done a great Flynn Rider, but he's too old for the role. He has to be much younger. But yeah, that actually does sound like it would have been a good choice. Iron Warrior, don't even scare me like that. He goes, watch Gal Gadot be cast in Batman 2 or be the villain in Tangled, singing and all. I hope her acting career is over since she can't act in her controversial opinions. Yeah, she can't act. It's been long proven by that. For me, the first time I thought she couldn't act was in that movie Red One with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. Terrible actress in that, I thought, which genuinely surprised me. She was also bad in that other movie, that Death on the Nile, and she was also really bad in Snow White. So she can't act for shit. She really can't. So they should not put her in this. However, that's not going to happen. Apparently, the rumor is that they're trying to get Catherine Hahn to play the mother in Tangled, the remake. And that is actually good casting. I can see her playing that role. That's actually very good casting. It's not been confirmed, but that's what they're looking into, to get her to play the role. So, yeah, guys, when you get down to it, this is going to be another live-action Disney remake, and I'm not looking forward to it. Apparently, it has a director that's done some good stuff, like The Greatest Showman. I think, did he do The Greatest Showman? Let me double check. Yeah, The Greatest Showman. He did The Greatest Showman, and he's directing this. That's why Scarlett Johansson wanted the role in the first place, because she wanted to work with that director, but then she moved off and saw Matt Reeves. So, but the thing is, these directors, they don't really get creative control. Um, because Disney basically are controlling them, so they're not going to be able to get full control of the movie. So I don't know why anyone wants to jump onto a Disney project, especially a live action remake, because of the director. The director doesn't get full control. They just put the director on it because it's a name or something, but they control what happens in the movie. So yeah, don't expect it to be anything more than just another cash grab. That's what it is. All right. Time to go to the Q&A session. So what do you guys think of the stories we've talked about? You can ask me any questions you want now, and we'll do it for about just over 15 minutes. About 15 minutes of questions. So ask your questions, post your super chats. If you join any of these Patreon tiers, I'll write your name under here where it can stay for forever, or as long as this channel is up. So yeah. Okay, let's see. What are you guys asking? Omar says, Eric, live action Shrek should make fun of the live action remakes. That is not a bad idea, but I don't know if they will do that. They'll probably just do a full on remake of the original if they did that. Let's see. Movie King says, are you going to talk about who's writing the Tanga live action remake? Is it the same writer that wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer? Was it her, or was it the writer that did Thor Love and Thunder? Because I've heard a story about one of the two. I can't remember. Confirm that for me, please, bud. I'd appreciate that. The Thor Love and Thunder one. Yeah, that was the story I heard then. Yeah, apparently the Thor Love and Thunder writer is going to be helming the script. Now, first of all, I think a lot of those jokes really came from Taika Waititi because it feels more like that's his thing. So I'm going to put more of the blame on Taika Waititi than I'm going to put the blame on her, really. That being said, that is not a glowing recommendation of a writer to be on a movie like this, I don't think. That does sound like it could be strange. Fireboy says, gotta go. Bye. Take care, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's something to definitely be, I think, worried about. What do you think of the last two Mission Impossible films? I liked Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. The Final Reckoning, didn't like it too much. It seemed like it was just underwhelming, and that's because there was problems going on when they were shooting the movie, so turns out there was problems. In any versus videos, oh, is any in it? Oh, I'm gonna try reading that. It's a bit messy. Is any versus videos for Toy Story movies before 5? We'll see. We'll see. I've got other videos to do. I don't want to make promises. Promise any promises right now in case I can't live up to them. So, yeah, I can't say just yet. Did you know there was a Rambo and Karate Kid cartoon? I did know there was a Karate Kid cartoon. I didn't know there was a Rambo cartoon. Love Grizzly Polar Bear says, which one do you prefer, DC or Marvel? DC. I love both. I've grown up with both, but at the end of the day, my favorite superheroes are Batman and Superman. And if I had to pick one superhero that could survive out of all the superheroes, it would be Batman. So Batman, 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 DC, 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 because of Batman, Batman, Batman. Batman, Batman, and more Batman. Did you know there was a Jackie Chan cartoon? Yes, I did, Big Bash. I also knew there was a Jackie Chan cartoon. Yep. It was on I think it was it on Nickelodeon or was it on Jetix? I can't remember. Or Fox Kids or something. It did used to come on occasionally, but I watched some of it, but it wasn't a show I used to watch continuously like other shows from my childhood. Grizzly Polar Bear says, also, I like your t-shirt. It's like Fred from What New. It's like what? I didn't quite get that. We get the release date of Godzilla -1 in November of this year. Wasn't there like a June release date of 2026, and that was a temporary release date? Where did the November one? I didn't look into that. Where did the November release date come from? Is that their final release date? Did they update it? Do I like Black Phone 2? If you saw my Welcome to Derry final episode review, I actually very briefly talked about the Black Phone 2. Is that what you're referring to, Matthew? Polar Bear was saying, your shirt, remember Fred had a striped t-shirt from What's New? Oh, I don't think I do know about that, no. That's why Matthew was asking that, yeah. It wasn't a terrible movie, but I did not like the Black Phone 2. I thought it had a lot of problems. Oh, from What's New Scooby-Doo. Okay. He means Fred from What's New Scooby-Doo. Right. Does this look like a show? Oh, it does, doesn't it? Except his was white, blue, and was it another color? Yeah, I guess so. Didn't think of that. Yeah, I guess so. Eric, there is a new monkey movie called Primate. Yes, there is. I kind of want to see it because some people hate it so much. One critic walked out of it for some reason. I think that's kind of like the movie doesn't sound like it's that bad to walk out of, but there's a lot of people saying it's a lot of fun. So yeah. Grizzly Polar Bear says, I heard DC better for animation and Marvel better for live action. That was back in the time, but not anymore. But I would argue that DC has always been better in animation than Marvel, but DC, when they make really good movies, they make excellent movies, and Marvel cannot match up to them. Like, they can't match up to a Dark Knight, for example. They can't, in terms of a visual feast for the eyes, they can't match up to Aquaman. In terms of a female superhero movie, they couldn't match up to the first Wonder Woman. You know, there's a lot of movies they can't match up to. And then you have other Marvel movies like Logan, they can't match up to Logan. Or Sam Raimi's first two Spider-Man movies, they can't match up to those either. Or X-Men Days of Future Past, I think they can't measure up to. Or X-Men 2 was another good one they can't measure up to. A lot of them. I wouldn't say Spider-Man 2 rivals The Dark Knight. I think The Dark Knight is far superior, personally. Because Spider-Man 2, it does have problems. If you've seen my video, I talked about some of those problems. Eric, I was asking a question. Have you seen Fixed from Jendi? I still haven't seen that, no. I want to see it, but I still haven't seen it. Have I seen a show called Snowfall? I actually haven't. Gamersaw, I'm still working on the Monkey review. The voiceover is done. I just got to edit the footage, but I'm working on my best of movies list, my Zootopia verses. I'll get to the Monkey, but so don't worry, I will get to the Monkey. One of my inspirations says Love Grizzly Polar Bear. She doesn't have a favorite boy band. Mibali, I don't know how to say your name, sorry. Eric, do you think they will try to shoehorn the Tangled show plot holes on the new movie? The show's plot holes, the show's plot lines. I don't know. I think they'll just keep what's in the movie. I don't think they're gonna shoehorn the special. I think you're talking about the special or the series. I don't think they're gonna shove any of those in. I think they're just gonna do a direct translation of the animated movie. That's what they're going to do. Logan Miracle says, I'm sorry for asking you this question many times. Just what do you think of 12 Angry Men? It's my favorite film of all time. It's one of my favorite films of all time, too. In my top 10. I love 12 Angry Men. It's a great, great, great movie. I watched it for the first time when we were waiting for Johnny Depp's deliberation. Did I say it that right? It's a court case terminology. Sorry, it's late. It's approaching 2 a.m. I'm getting tired. But Johnny Depp's court case, when it was in the hands of the jury, we had to wait for the jury to come up with a conclusion. I think I watched the movie around the same time at that point, close to before that point, and then I recommended my parents watch it when they were talking about the deliberation, like what's going to happen as the jury are deciding. I said to watch the movie. I remember my mum was put off when she heard it was a black and white movie first, but then she watched it and she liked it. I think she even recognized one of the actors in it. Was it Jane Fonda or something? I can't remember. But she really liked. They really liked that movie then as well. But yeah, I love that movie. I've seen it many, many times. I watched it on my projector too, and on my monitor. It's a really good movie. Do you think the Moana live action will do well or flop? Says Iron Warrior. I think the Moana live action movie is going to be a disappointment. I think it will probably not flop. Depends on how big the budget is, but I think it'll make probably 400 to 500 million. That's what I think if I had to guess. Okay, we got just under 10 minutes on the Q&A, guys, so yeah. Eric, do you think video games are becoming too big and cinematic for their own good, considering how long it's taking to make and release them? I have so many thoughts about this. I wanted to make a video about modern gaming and the state that we're kind of in, but I just got to collect my thoughts. I've got to find a format to where I position the camera, and if I make a video format like that. If the majority of people on my channel want to see me do something like that, I need to think about that. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about something like this, and I want to make sure when I do it right. But yes, I do feel that. I feel like console games are taking entire console generations to develop for. I mean, can you believe that we had, in one console generation, we had 3 Uncharted games, Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3, all in one console generation. We also had BioShock 1, BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite. Do we have a few Mass Effect games as well? Like, we also had like 3 Batman Arkham games, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Origins, all on one system. It's insane. It really is insane just how much we are able to how much games we were able to get back in the time versus how little we get now. We got one Spider-Man game on this PS5. We're gonna get one Wolverine game. Like, where's the sequels? We should have gotten like two Spider-Man games on this system, or maybe two Wolverine games. What's taking so long? It's the development cycles are taking way too long to the point that you just feel tired of waiting. And then when the game comes out, it's like, yeah, so I waited 5 years since you've announced it. I can wait another year or two for it to come out on PC so I can then play it on, say, a Steam Deck or on a Steam machine if I get a Steam machine. Like, there's plenty of other things, I think, that that I can like there's plenty of like you get plenty of practice being patient for these games that you can just wait even more to play them, and you can even wait even more for them to go on discount too, especially on Steam. So yeah, it's crazy. You know what? Where are we? That's video game movies all the time. Crazy Cat Lady, don't worry. We'll next watch party. I'll consider doing the Goofy movie. We'll see if there's any others that come to mind, but I'll consider doing the Goofy movie for the next watch party because I haven't seen that movie. I've always wanted to. And yeah, we could potentially do that one this coming week. So if anyone wants to join the watch party that we do every 2 weeks, that's the Discord perk that you got to hit. And then we'll do the watch party. Yes, Trevor, I have seen the movie called Whiplash. It's a good movie. I thought it ended abruptly, but I thought it was a good movie. Very great acting in that. I remember my mum, I was watching it in the living room and my mum was in there as well. She was browsing on the laptop at the time. This is before smartphones became commonplace. This was when people were still using laptops a lot. I remember when J.K. Simmons started yelling at his students, she actually did something she never normally does. She looked up from her laptop and then looked at me and saying, "What the hell? Like, what kind of teacher is this?" And then when I told her that's J. Jonah Jameson, none of us knew J.K. Simmons had that in him, because normally his yelling is funny. Here it was scary. Even my dad says, "And you think I am harsh?" And my dad later on walked downstairs and saw that. Oh, that was funny. Omar, what are you talking about when you say thoughts on Sony's next movie? I thought you said Sonya next movie. Thoughts on Goat Sony's next movie? Goat. What's the name of the next movie? Oh, Goat is their next movie. I thought you were talking about... Oh, God. I just saw a little bit of this. It looks awful. Is that a chipmunk in there? Aaron Pierre, the new Green Lantern, apparently is doing a voice in there. We have Caleb, who plays Lucas in Stranger Things, who's doing a voice in it. I think it rings a bell. I think I might have seen a trailer for that in the cinema at some point. It's an animated basketball movie. Terrible remake. Eric, please put Train to Busan on your watch party list. Jess, I'll consider that in the future, but not right now. Return to Zombie Island. Oh. Return to Zombie Island is a remake. I thought it was supposed to be a sequel. When my sister came to visit recently, about a month ago, we actually did watch, was it less than a month ago now? Maybe more, I can't remember. But we did watch Zombie Island, the original Scooby-Doo movie. And I mentioned to her the next time she comes down, we'll try to watch Return to Zombie Island and see what it's like. Big Bash says, Eric, do you think photorealistic graphics are extremely tired now that every video game looks the same? Not really. I think if they have a different varied style, I think it can still look be very fun to look at and everything. Like the Wolverine game coming up looks really good, but why is that we're only now getting a PS5 game that looks this good? We should have gotten one like this like earlier on in its lifespan, like maybe in the middle of its lifespan, the first couple of years. But we're getting it towards the end of its lifespan, and I feel like the PS5 can still do so much more, but it's untapped potential at this point, because now they're going to move on to the PS6, and they're not going to further push the PS5 to see just what it can do. So what we're most likely going to see is the PS6 giving us some genuinely good graphics, but we'll be none the wiser to the fact that the PS5 could have pulled those same graphics off if Sony had given it further time to try, had given developers extra time to try to push the system as far as it can go, then it probably would have been able to give us those same graphics that we're going to get on the PS6 when it starts out. So yeah, it's I think it's very disappointing. We need more time. I think they need to extend the PS5's life cycle by another 4 years, I think, and then release a PS6. So that will give them enough time to further try to push the system to its limits. Have you heard about Adult Eddie's actor passing away, James Ranson? Yeah, we actually talked about that. I think we talked about it on my Discord server. Actually, like I said, every 2 weeks we do a private Discord server. We had a watch party. I think we were watching Klaus, and when it was over, we talked. It was brought up. I found out about it on the Discord server, and I brought it up. I was quite sad and came out of nowhere. Like it's like we did not even see that coming. But yeah, that was sad. Big Bash says the PS6 should come out in 2030, considering how slow the games are coming out. That's what I said. They should give it another 4-year lifespan to the PS5, which means the PS6 would release in 2030 instead of 2027 or something. Joshman says, Eric, would you consider watching some garbage movies for Let's Watch? Oh, you mean like what I did with Moana, where I did a Let's Watch reaction? They take a while to edit, so normally I would give that to the Time Shadow, and now he can start editing those for me. Um, I'll think about it. Yeah, I'll think about it. Love Grizzly Polar Bear says, when you watch a Goofy movie, where will the Discord server be? The Discord server is right here. If you go to my Patreon, which is linked below, and you join this perk, then that means that you'll be able to link your Patreon with my Discord server. Sorry, link your Patreon with your Discord, and then it will invite you into my Discord server. We've got like 19 people in there right now, and the more people that join, the better, because it's like we've got our own separate mini family in there. In fact, I'm considering actually talking about the Golden Globe nominations right after this live stream as well. I'll consider jumping on there for that. So if you want to jump in and chat with us about it, by all means, come on in and we'll chat about it. Oh, look at that. A minute over. Okay, guys, that's basically it then. The live stream is over. Had a great time with you. There was a lot to talk about this stream. I hope you all found it very informative. You found it very interesting. And I hope you found it interesting to hear my opinions on this and for us to have this back and forth. So, yeah, hang on, what's Joshman saying? Do you know what would be funny if you and your friends on Discord would react to My Little Pony movie from 2017 for Let's Watch? I don't know if I want to put myself through that, but yeah. Love Grizzly Polar Bear says, you are going to love a Goofy movie. I've always wanted to watch that movie ever since I was a kid, because when I'd put VHS movies into Disney movies or something, we would always see trailers for a Goofy movie, and it looked cool, but we just never got to see it. So to see it the first time now would be pretty cool. What do you mean, Grizzly Polar Bear, when you say calm, bro? Were you talking to me or to someone else in the chat? Disney will fall to their knees, says Buffalo. A Goofy movie, has a killer soundtrack. Yeah, I can imagine. Apparently a lot of black people love the Goofy movie, which I didn't know until a content creator on YouTube said it, that a lot of black people love the movie. And yes, that content creator was black. Total drama video for 2027? I don't think so. I've got other videos to work on. Oh, to me? What do you mean? What do you mean calm? Was I not calm? Oh, like cool, bro. Oh, calm, bro. Right. I thought you were telling me to calm down. All right, that's cool. Goofy is the key for stopping racism. Have you heard songs Eye to Eye? Is there Eye for Eye or Eye for an Eye? That's the Dark Knight theme, actually, if you look at the movie score. No, I don't think I've heard of that song. Or if I have, I can't remember it. So yeah. All right then, guys, that's basically it. I'm going to get ready to jump onto the Discord for a bit, and I am tired, so I'm going to go get some water, take a bit of a break before I jump onto the Discord. But if you want to chat with me live, where we can actually speak to each other live right now, jump on and join that Discord perk.
like I said, we've got a growing family there, so the more people, the better. And the support really will help as well, because like I said, I did not get any revenue for the Welcome to Dairy reviews because they all, except for one of them, all of them got copyright claimed. And the final one got blocked. So any donations you can do through even Patreon, that really does help. And also, I like to speak to a lot of you there. I've been always speaking to the majority of you here through the text on a live stream, whereas I'm the one that is doing the talking and you actually see me. I never get to verbally speak to you guys like, when you guys speak to me back. So the more people on the Discord, the better, because it means I get to interact with all of you. And it does also support the channel. And it's just a nice community overall. It just kind of like does everything all in one. So, yeah, guys, I will look forward to seeing you this upcoming week. Next Sunday, 1 week from now, we'll most likely do a Goofy movie watch party. So you're definitely going to want to join in for that. And yeah, had a great time chatting with all of you. And I hope you guys had a great time on this live stream too. So, guys, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you on the Discord server in a few minutes. And I'll catch the rest of you on another live stream in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. I'll catch all of you very soon. Take care.